I found out that tinyurl still exists, and now they let you pick what it is you want to represent your special code. So it's not random code now. It's you actually can allocate a basically kind of like allocating a domain, but it's just some sentence or set of words that you make up. And I made one that's 80s dot or 80s MTV. So if you can remember 80s with a small s and MT in capitals, um, you will you'll find my not it's called Not Entirely 80s channel on my website. And so now you don't really have to cough up the whole Rock Me Amadeus and anything. You can just go tinyurl one word dot com slash 80s MTV. I mean, it's more stuff to remember, but it's really cool that I can basically hide that code equals number thing. The reason why that number is so big is that I had this idea that more people would use the software, that there would be like lots of people using the software. So I planned, rather than having an incrementing number going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is really bad if you say somebody uses a bookmarklet that lets you increment or decrement, which you can find on Jesse's bookmarklets. You can go and thumb through um, all the pages that are on that site because they have a incrementing number. And rather than having that, I wanted to make it so that, say somebody wants a private playlist, it doesn't people don't happen upon it by accident. Um, they can't like put in a number and sit there and thumb through people's private and public playlists. So what I did early on is, rather than using an incrementing number, I used a random number generator that was seeded by time to create a long number. And I made it long enough that I figured that the chances of it reoccurring are very slim. So there's no chance for a collision between codes. That's the reason why that code is so long, and it's really kind of stupid. I probably should have made it shorter, but the idea was to prevent collisions um, between playlist codes. And probably what I should do is do what tinyurl does, is let you specify a name rather than using code. But I'm keeping it the way it is because it works, and you know, um, it serves a specific purpose so that I don't have to like keep a database of all the codes. But I do. It's it may be sometime in the future I might change it, but anybody could take the source code and change it. I could change it. I'm starting to find that there's a problem with one of my with my station code, that if the number of videos that you're adding to the station, the playlists are less than the total station size, it goes into a cycle. And I think what's happening is that it's trying to guarantee that there's no repeats in videos in the playlist, and it's not able to maintain that, so it goes into a busy loop. And so I'm going to have to fix that, either change the size of the video or make the station just another playlist, or which is probably what I should do. I have a bookmarklet that will actually let you rip music videos just based upon the images. So, like if you have images that are derived from YouTube, like icons from YouTube, you can actually suck the codes out of the images. Even so, I use that from time to time whenever I want to duplicate my videos that I have in my playlist. I can suck all the images that show up in my interface, and they have the codes in them, and it will basically add back the videos that I already have in the playlist, and so I can duplicate them several times. And it's really cool how if there was not such a thing as a bookmarklet, my site would be so much harder to maintain. But because I've got bookmarklets, it makes it a lot nicer. So